So might be they so 1 second. So friends, let me download the rapid implementation file again. So yesterday we are getting some issue in that file, right? Let me download it. Actually, I had updated my Excel, so Microsoft. Now it should work. Let me download it again.
Quick question, Vamshi. You are able to access, but I am not able to access the instance.
Sir, that is both are different. Okay. So
Oh,
this is
different
our,
one. Right.
yeah, this is our training environment where we'll give the training, and there is another environment where we'll give access to the people. So that might be the down, and this is working fine.
Oh, I see. I see.
Okay, right.
Good morning, Vamshi.
Good morning,
Uh,
Rajesh.
and can you please tell us what setup you have done in the Excel sheet? Have you enabled any macros?
Nothing, sir, nothing. Actually, there is some spreadsheet issue. So I have updated my spreadsheet, and it should work now. So see, it is working.
Thank you.
There is nothing I have done. Okay, don't worry.
Thank
There is some update. That system is asking to update. So I have done that. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Let me fill it again. So okay. Now we have done with the natural account. Till natural account we are done. So let us proceed with the natural account. Okay. So I'm just populating the categories, financial categories. I'll let you know. I told you we'll discuss what is this financial category and what for purpose. Okay, just wait. And I told you we'll get the sample data from the spreadsheet itself, right? So here you can see if you click on, oh, okay.
Actually, yesterday I tried immediately after the class. I got it in the instance we have.
Right, okay.
I was able to open the sample data.
Right, right. Like that you can get it. So let's see. Oh, I need to check why it is not coming. Okay, now we have populated the values for the primary balancing segment and natural account. So what about the other segments? How can we get the other segment sheets to add the values? If you click on the add segment sheet button, so you can see the sheets will be added automatically. So you can see line of business, department, and future segment. So you need to go and fill the data for these three segments also. Let us fill the data for line of business. These are the three line of businesses that we had. And the same way, department. So these are the departments that we had. So these are the departments that we had from the customer. So that is the reason I had added all those departments. And future, these are the future segments that we had. Okay, so this is all about the data that we had populated. Any questions on this now? Any questions, friends?
So in the template, it will be automatically there, these data in the template?
Sir, in the sample data, you can find some of the data. So you can use that sample file, and I'm not able to open, might be some issue. So you can use this sample file and okay, it's not opening, but using the sample data, you can prepare some of your data for your implementation, or you can use your real time, any of your project where you are working. If you have any BR100 or MC50, so you can use that data to upload your chart of accounts. Is that clear,
Okay.
Ajay?
Okay. So we can use even for the EBS past data as well. Yes.
Yeah. Any data you can use, because it's all about a chart of accounts only, right?
Okay.
So any data that you
But
can
I hope you
use.
would share the Excel sheet which the sample data.
So, this sheet definitely I will share, sir. Definitely I will share. Don't worry. Okay, but
Okay.
not now immediately. So we have to proceed further. Okay,
Okay. Sure.
right. Shall we proceed further?
Yes. Yes.
Right. Now let's go to the financial sequences. There is a last and tab is financial sequences. Here we need to provide what should be the document sequencing for each of the payable invoices, payments, receivable invoices, credit memos, receivable adjustment activities, subledger journals, and general ledger journals. You need to provide the document sequencing for these transactions. But there is some bug is going on around this document sequencing. It is not populating in the application. So we just provide this, but later we will see where we need to define the document sequencing. Okay, manually. I'm just giving the some data because it is also a mandatory data. If you look at, it's a mandatory data. So we need to provide some values, but it will not upload these values, friends, because there is some bug is going on. Okay. Right. Now let us validate. Now let us clear. So the next step one. So after filling the data, so let's see. So we have downloaded the rapid implementation spreadsheet template and we have populated the setup data and generate. So we have populated the setup data. So now we have populated the setup data in the spreadsheet. Now, before generating the zip files, first of all, you have to validate. So this validation will give you if there are any validation errors are there. So validation errors means, let's say our cost center display width is 2. Okay, let us assume our cost center display width is 2. Whereas at the department we had, sorry, this department is 2 only. Once again, yeah, here it is. So I had given this way the company name default legal entity for my business unit. And now let us try to validate what it will do. So you can see the sheet business unit, there is a validation error. The sheet is business unit, in that field name default legal entity, and what is the error? Legal entity name used in the companies and legal entities sheet should be used. So the error is for this business unit, this is the error, this is the field is an error. For this legal entity, what we need to do, legal entity name used in the companies and legal entity sheet should be used. So if you go to the companies and legal entities sheet, so these are the legal entity names that we had. So you have to use any one of these legal entity name. As here, we have not used that legal entity name, system is throwing an error. So this is a kind of validation error that you will get. Is that clear? Now let us try to validate. So it will remove that validation errors. Now there are no validation errors. Any questions on this validation point? Okay. Now let us click on the, so now we have to generate the zip file. So let us proceed with the step 2. Click on the generate chart of account file. If you click on that, it will generate a chart of account file. Place it on the desktop and click on the step 3. It will generate a legal entities file. So place on the desktop. So like this, we need to generate 2 zip files. So we have generated 2 zip files. Any questions? This is the first step that we have done. So chart of account zip and financial common entities zip. If you look at chart of account zip and financial common entities zip. So we have generated 2 zip files. Any questions on this now? Up
Do
to
we
here.
need to save it as a desktop file or any local directory?
Any local directory, that's okay.
Any local. Okay.
But it should be a zip file.
Zip file. All right. Thank you.
So shall we proceed further now? Right. The next step is we have to upload this chart of accounts. So we have to upload the chart of accounts. So for that we have to schedule or we have to invoke a program called create enterprise structure process. We have to initiate a create enterprise structure process from the scheduled process page. From the scheduled process page, we have to run this program, create enterprise structure. Okay, let us see how to do that. So here you can see the upload chart of accounts. Are you able to see upload chart of accounts button option? If you click on that, it will triggers the same process. So you can see upload enterprise structure and hierarchies. The program name is that one. So once again, this is not the correct program name. Let me change it. Upload enterprise structure and hierarchies. So this is the process that you have to submit. Even from the scheduled process also you can run this, or from here also we can run this.
So Vamshi, there is no direct upload from the Excel spreadsheet like what we had in WebADI.
No, it is not a web ADI. It is a macro
Right.
enabled spreadsheet, right?
Okay. No, I
So
know
it
this
is
is not WebADI, but similar kind of functionality about
right,
talking.
right. It is not there.
Okay.
Okay,
So we have to
for
necessarily download the file as a zip and then upload.
right. Okay, so now here, when you click on the upload enterprise structures and hierarchies, for this, you have to select the parameter as a upload enterprise structure because we are uploading the enterprise structure set of data. So select the parameter as an upload enterprise structure, browse the file from your desktop. The first file, chart of account file, we have to upload and click on submit. Now this process will run. Once this process is been completed, we have to load the second file. So it will take time.
So Vamshi garu, Subbu here, this process, running this process, how it happens, the backend, like the 11 and 12, there's a concurrent manager and the database.
Here also it is there. This is a scheduled process. For us, it's a concurrent manager only. So
Oh,
if you
okay.
go to the navigator and you can see the scheduled process, this is our concurrent manager in Fusion.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. So let us wait, sir. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Can you just go back to the sheet, Vamshi garu, once?
Yeah, 1 second. Mhm.
So did we upload all of? I think I missed a step here. So did we upload all of them, or it's only the
No,
chart of?
see, we are uploading the chart of account file. So after
Okay.
after completing this, once you have to validate, after
Correct.
validating, we have to
Correct.
generate the chart of account file and we have to generate
Okay.
the ledger, LE and BU files.
Okay, sequence. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Once generating, so you have to upload the chart of account file, and once that is completed, you have to upload the ledger and legal entity and BU file. Is that clear?
And where we specify the path, Vamshi garu, it will store the same place where the template is there, or?
No. The system, we need not to specify any path. That the program will take care of that part automatically.
But it is a single file. We have all the data, right? I mean,
Yeah, 2 files, not single file. So from the single spreadsheet, we are going to generate 2 files, 2 zip files.
okay.
So 1 second, let me explain you 1 second. Let me show you.
So what was the data in the another file? One is chart of account and what was
Another one is ledgers, legal entities, and business units will be there.
okay, it's in the different tabs.
Not in different tabs. See, the sheet will be the same. The Excel spreadsheet is same, single spreadsheet, but system will generate. So the macros that are written behind these buttons, it will go and find the data according to the macros and it will generate the zip files which contains the XML data. So if you open this Excel spread, this zip file, you will find the XML data. Are you able to see the XML data?
Yes.
So this XML data will be prepared or will be defined by the system in a way how system will read. So that way system will this macro will generate the XML file and give it to that system. System will read that XML file and will generate our chart of accounts.
Oh, one workbook which has all the information like chart of accounts, business units, and the account details and all. Using these
Everything
two buttons, there are two different XML files which are generated,
which will
which are
generate,
readable
right,
format to upload.
right.
Okay, got it.
So this is a single workbook, and based on these buttons that are written, so the buttons or the macros that are written behind these buttons, system will generate this workbook into two XML data, which are in readable format of the Oracle. So then we have to upload that formats into the application.
One more question, Vamshi garu. So if we have even different tabs, we say division tab and whatever
Everything
maybe the
has got
number of,
loaded. Everything has got loaded. The
yeah,
total chart of accounts
whatever
as
may
will
be
be.
the number of, yeah, whatever may be the number of sheets based on our company structure, it will always generate using these two buttons, these two steps,
Yes,
it generate two
yes,
files, and then we
yes.
are going to do only the upload twice.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
So probably it
Now,
will contain all the tabs information in those two files. It should.
right, it will segregate all the data related to the chart of accounts and general ledger legal entities into two zip
Two
files.
files.
It will segregate.
Okay.
These buttons will do that part. Okay.
Okay. That's fine.
Right. Now let us proceed with the second part, the third step in for us. The third step is we have to upload ledgers, legal entities, and business units. So we have to invoke the same process again. So you can see upload ledgers, legal entities, and business units. So click on the go to task button. It will invoke the same process, upload enterprise structures and hierarchies. And the parameters still we are in the enterprise structure only. Search, browse the second file, and now it will load the ledgers, legal entities, common entities, everything. Now, again, this will take some more time. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, let me know.
So Vamshi, here, what would be the max number of segments? Will it be
Yeah,
30 same like EVs or will be?
the same way 30, sir. Yeah, just like your fusion, we are going to have 30 segments even here also.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, I'm sure. In
Go
the
ahead, Rajesh.
in the spreadsheet, in the PPT, we have three legal entities, but in the spreadsheet, we have only two legal entities assigned to two business units.
The third, not three only. So see, even in spreadsheet also we have three legal entities. If you look at the companies and legal entities sheet, these are the three legal entities sheet that we have, three legal entities that we had.
No. In the business units, can you please open the
So
business?
we have only one BU. This BU will work for both the legal entities, GRT US and GRT US Consulting. For these two legal entities, we have only one BU. The same way here also in PPT that is being shown. So let me show you. So here you can see TRT US Technologies, TRT US Consulting having only one BU. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay. So let it load, sir. It is loading now.
Can you just navigate to that? How did we get this navigation? Manage scheduled processes.
One second. Okay, so once again, click on done. So this is a navigation. So here in the implementation project, define
Okay.
common financial configuration, upload legal entities and business unit sheet. If you click on this arrow button, it will take you to that page. So this is one way. If you want to go now, if I want to review what are all the programs that are running in this application, so I can go to the navigator. From here, I can click on the scheduled process. It will take you to the same page.
Okay. Thank you.
How do we get to know that which is the parent and which are the child programs?
Now you can see. Are able to see? This is the parent one, and these are all the spanned programs.
Enterprise. Okay.
This is our parent program, upload enterprise structure and hierarchies. Under that, these are the span programs that are running by the system. So this I came to here, I came to know by clicking on the hierarchy. So instead of creating the flat list, so if you use the view hierarchy, so it will show you in the hierarchy model.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes.
And if you go to the specific process, you can see what is a parent ID. The parent process ID for that. Is that clear?
Okay.
Well, let us wait, and it will take time. Almost it will take 15 minutes time to run this upload enterprise structures on hierarchies.
So Vamshi garu, Subbu here, how it knows the path that you should copy to the desktop? Like where you specify that? If all you do is click on the button, generate that XML file.
When you are generating the file, it will ask you where you want to save.
Oh, okay.
So when I click on that, it is asking me to generate where I want to save that.
Oh, okay.
So I have
Perfect.
selected the path where I want to
Got
save, and it is placed.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Meanwhile, let me clear these files here. I'm just closing this, and again I'll open, not an issue. I'm just clearing the screens. That's it. It is still running, and we have to wait. We can't do anything.
Yeah, Vamshi Garu, I cannot log into the instance.
I know
Probably.
that. I know that. I know that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So it will be the same instance to everyone. So
Mhm.
don't worry. I'll let you know by so by your morning. I'll definitely get you the environment up. Okay, don't worry.
So Vamshi, for people like me who are not India based, so if we are getting this kind of trouble, is there any team or some technical assistance we can still
See,
expect?
actually, we have a spare environment in it. Okay, so
Uh, uh,
we have actually 3 servers. Okay,
okay,
one is for ours, and one for students, and the other one is for spare one.
spare one. Okay,
Okay, so if the environment is down for the students, or if the environment is down for us, we'll use the spare one.
So
okay,
Vamshi, yeah, if
Okay,
that is the case,
one second. Let me complete. So definitely, I'll make the environment up. If not, I'll get the spare one to you immediately. Okay.
but if we get the spare one, what all we have been defining, setting up, that won't be available there. So,
That won't be available at at that moment. So, sir,
uh,
let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. I
okay,
don't know whether this has been informed to you, everyone, or not. So, so. Okay, so we'll discuss this separately, not now because it is recording.
sure,
We'll discuss this separately. Okay.
okay,
So Kamlakar, I'll call you and I'll explain you what is this. Okay, what is the
yeah.
situation now?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to log in and then just see. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll discuss. Okay. Once the session is over, I'll call you and I'll let you know. And Srini Garu and Subbu Garu, you just follow with the tech leads. They will update you with the information what it is there. Okay, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
okay, thank you.
So you can see the first process has got completed and it has initiated the second process. So let us wait. Because so see, this is for one ledger and this is another ledger it is loading. So we have if you remember, we have 2 ledgers, right, that we need to create, TRT US ledger and TRT IN ledger. So this is for first ledger that has been completed and this is the second ledger that it is loading. So let us wait.
Okay, while the process is running, I have a question, general question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, in your experience or in your within your knowledge base, many clients are doing rapid implementation, or what kind of option they're doing
Okay,
so
so
far?
see, it is depending on the consultants and the customers. So
Mm-hmm.
see, if you're going with big customers and they are having very complex chart of accounts, very complex requirements, we'll suggest to go with the normal way, go to the individual task and load it. And if the customers is very simple customers and the timelines are very stringent and very little, so we'll
Mm-hmm.
recommend to go with the rapid implementation. It is depending on the consultant and the time constraints. So a lot of factors we'll consider and we'll do. So all the things will give the same options, same information. But the limitations with the rapid implementation is you cannot do. You cannot change when you are uploading. You cannot load the data with your naming convention. So now you can see when I load this, so my calendar, my ledgers, and my chart of accounts will be loaded with the same name, GRT COA, with the name of GRT COA. But I want to use the calendar as an accounting calendar, and chart of accounts name is GRT chart of accounts, and my ledger
Oh,
name
okay,
is so US ledger and UK ledger. Like that, I want to give the naming conventions. In such a
okay,
case,
okay.
you cannot use the rapid implementation.
But
So
once we
this
load, we can go there and update, right?
the chart of account names, the chart of accounts will be freezed and the calendar is freezed, right? You cannot change
Right,
them.
right. Okay. Once
Only
they
the
are
ledger
frozen, we
names,
cannot. Yeah.
only the ledger names you can change. That's it.
Okay, okay. So they don't give us the
Those,
ability to update. Okay.
right. And not only that, so you can see you have only these many options in the period frequency. So the requirement for me is I have different frequency. In such a case, you cannot use the rapid implementation. So there are a lot of limitations are there in the rapid implementation. If your implementation is falling within the limitations, then you can go with the rapid implementation. If it is outside the limitations, then you have to go with the manual way of manual way of doing the tasks. So there is no options.
Vamshi, but at any point, at any given point in time, we can do a chunks, right? Like using the uploads. We say I have a lot of accounts information, so I just want to use the upload process and the rest of
not from this way. See, if you want to load, let's say I have a lot of natural account segments. So here I have 600. Right. So in a case, there are cases where you can have more than 1,000 also. So you cannot ask the user to go and punch in individual tasks. So for that, there is another way of spreadsheet upload. We'll see that. Okay. So there is another way of spreadsheet upload that we will see. Don't worry. So all the parts we will see, Andy. Don't worry. So my session will be designed in such a way to show you all the options. Okay. Shall we proceed? Srinigar, any questions from your side?
No, I'm good, Andy. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
One question.
Yeah, Tirupati. Tirupati.
If my ledger having different chart account structure, so how system is going to identify?
So good question, sir. If you are having different chart of accounts for each ledger, so let's say I have US ledger, I want to follow different chart of accounts, and India ledger, I have to follow different chart of accounts. Rapid implementation will not support. You have to generate two rapid implementation sheets and you have to upload it separately for both the ledgers individually. But the rapid implementation is another limitation is system will use for both the ledgers, whatever the ledgers you are going to create. So for all the ledgers, you are saying to the system, I want to use the same chart of accounts. Is that clear, Tirupati Garu? So that is a limitation from the rapid implementation.
So in short, if my business wants to have different COA, then I cannot go for rapid implementation.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So now let us proceed. Let us verify one by one that we have done. So let us go to the setup and maintenance. So we'll start from the enterprise, Andy. So we'll start from the enterprise, where the enterprise has got created. We'll start from there. Okay. So we'll start from the enterprise. Expand the financials. Define common application configuration for financials. And manage enterprise HCM information. So this is a place where you need to define the enterprise. If you are going manually. So this is a place where you need to define the enterprise. Individual task wise, if you are going, this is a place where you need to define the enterprise. So click right on the navigation. I'll click on the go to task. So if you click on the go to task, so you can see this is an enterprise. Vision Corporation is an enterprise. So when you're creating a fresh implementation, it will be the blank screen. So you have to create a record. So you have to create a record. There you need to provide what should be your business group name or your enterprise name. So it could be a Vision Corporation or can be anything. So in our case, it is a GRT Global is our enterprise. and you need to provide the HCM information, such as what is the workday, so how many standard hours, and what are all the employee generation, and all the other information we need to provide at the HCM information level. Is that clear? Any question? So you remember even in EBS also, we used to provide all these flex fields and people group flex field, and what should be the number flex field, how the numbering should be generated. All these we used to provide even at EBS at the business group level. You remember that? So the same way here also, this is a place where we are going to create an enterprise, and I am not changing this because this is already created and a lot of information has already been built based on this Vision Corporation enterprise. So I'm not changing this. Shall we proceed? Any questions?
Yes, no questions.
Right. So now let us proceed with the next part. The legal entities that are got created for us. So let us open the legal entities, whether the legal entities has got created or not. Write down the navigation where we can verify the legal entities. So Satish Garu, we are just checking whatever we had built through rapid implementation. We are just cross-verifying in the application. That's it. We are not doing anything.
Yeah, okay, fine.
So we'll definitely do it manually also. Don't worry.
Okay.
And we are going to the legal entities. So please don't write the navigation. I'll let you know when to write the navigation. And you can see here the legal entities with starting from GRT. Click on search. So you can see GRT IN Consulting, GRT US Consulting Services, and GRT US Technologies Limited with the following addresses that we have given. Any questions on this? Right. The same way.
These
Yes,
are the
sir.
legal entities which we derived from the rapid implementation.
Rapid implementation. Right. You can see. Is that clear, Vijay?
Yes.
Is that clear, Ajay? Right. Now,
Yes.
right. Let us proceed to the next setup. Is chart of accounts. So let us verify the chart of accounts has got created or not. So the chart of accounts you can verify. So from here we can verify the chart of accounts, whether that has got created or not. So click on search. So you will be taken to the accounting flex field. So this is our accounting flex field. So click on manage structures and search. You will be able to find the GRT CYA. Are you able to see? And if you click on edit, you will be able to see the segments: entity, line of business, account, department, affiliate, future. And if you click on, if you go to the edit, you will be able to see the value sets also. So this is a value set, and this is a segment qualifier that has been associated. Is that clear? Any questions? Right. So like this, we completed the chart of accounts. Now let us proceed to the calendar. So let us proceed to the calendar. So the calendar we are going to create from the defined calendar. You can verify the calendar in the accounting calendar. You should be able to see the calendars has got created with the GRT name. So you can see this is our calendar which has got created, and the periods, if you look at, so the periods also on the monthly basis. So you can see January 18, February 18, the periods. And so if you want to see the 2017 period, so you can see the 2017 periods. So this is how the calendars has got created. Right. Now let us proceed to the ledgers that has got created. Let us see the ledgers that has been created by the system. You can see GRT COA IN and GRT COA IUS. These are the two ledgers that has been created by the system for India and for United States. Is that clear? And this is a chart of accounts, calendar, and currency that has been associated. Right, now let us proceed to the ledger options. So before going to the ledger options, let us see the legal entities assignment for each ledger. So click on the go to task and search for the ledger that you have created through rapid implementation. So let us query the US ledger and click on the save and close. You should be able to see the two legal entities that have been associated to this ledger. So you can see GRT COA, GRT US Technologies Limited and GRT US Consulting Services Limited has been associated with this ledger. And these companies are also associated with the company segment value. So you can see 10 and 20. These are the balancing segment values that are being associated. Save and close. Now let us proceed to the business unit, whether the business unit has got created or not. So let us proceed to the business unit. Manage business unit. So click on go to task. And search for GRT. You can see the business units also has got created GRT, INBU and USBU. So the same business units I have provided in my rapid implementation. So it has created both the business units. Are you able to see? Right. Now, sir, whether the assignment also has been done with the business units and to the ledgers? Yes, that has also has got completed. Sir, any questions from anyone?
The linkage which we have done in the sheet, the legal entities with the business unit. So where do we
That
see
is what I'm trying to show, sir.
business unit function?
Right. So if you look at assign business unit business functions, click on go to task and open your business unit that you created. GRT, USBU. And you can see the assignment part. Now forget about this part. Forget about this business unit function. What is this? I will explain you later. Forget about that. Now you can see, so this GRT USBU is related to US ledger and the default legal entity is US Technologies. Is that clear?
Okay, that's financial reporting. Okay.
All right, sir. Any questions from anyone on this?
So this setup particularly represent kind of profile option that we usually use.
Not profile options, sir. The operating unit additional information we used to do in EBS.
Oh, that is what it is. Okay, all right.
Okay, for operating unit classification, we used to give the additional information, the ledger and the default legal entity,
Oh, that is
and the business unit operating unit short name. So that is part of this. Okay.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
So like this, we need to define. We have completed all the data that we have created through rapid implementation in the application. Any questions on this rapid implementation?
Yeah, Vamshikar, I see you selecting the save and close button for some of the options which are already displayed.
Right.
Is it required or not required?
That is required, sir. That is called scope. Okay, so whether you want to do the changes for that business unit or if you want to do any changes for another business unit. So see, I have two implementation consultants and one consultant has to work for the USBU and the other consultant has to work for the UK, so India BU. So I can select the scope and I can give the limit them with that scope so they can do those two business units only. The respective business units that has been given assigned to them. They cannot go and do the changes for other business units. Like that, we can restrict the even implementation consultants. We can restrict that, and this scoping will be useful for different purposes. Let's say when I select the assign business unit functions for GRT USVU, so I need not to search for other setups. I need in that particular task list. I need not to search for the business unit again. If I click on the go to task, immediately the same BU will be open.
Thank you.
Is that clear?
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Vamshi
So-
garu, one more question.
Go ahead.
This thing. Yeah. So in EBS, we used to assign the BSV set LEs and ledgers. So do we still have to do that in?
That is what we have done.
ledger
No,
handler?
that is what we have done here. If I go to the assign legal entities,
Mhm.
you should be able to see the primary ledger too. The legal entities has been assigned to the primary ledger. And if you go to the assign balancing segment value to the legal entities, BSV assignment.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
Vamshi Garu, can you show in the spreadsheet where do we have assigned this BSV to the legal entity?
so we did not manually done, sir. So you can see so this is our legal entity and this is our balancing segment value to the respective legal entity. So wherever you're going to, whatever the value that you want to assign to the company, just beside to that value, you need to give your company name. So this is a relation. So you can see that 10 is my balancing segment value, 20 is another balancing segment value, 30 is my balancing segment value. 10 represents the GRT US Technologies Limited company, 20 represents the GRT US Consulting Services Limited, and 30 represents the GRT India Consulting. Forget about the descriptions. So this is how a system will link.
My question was how it got linked with the ledger, how it was got assigned with the ledger actually.
Oh, okay, with the ledger. Okay. So see, these two legal entities belongs to one country and this is belongs to another country. So system will create the ledgers based on the country wise. So for the total country, it will create one ledger. So in that country, whatever the legal entities you are having, so will be assigned to that ledger. Is that clear?
So the ledger which we had defined for the United States, as per the country, it will automatically linked.
See, we did not create it. So nowhere we specified this is my ledgers, right? In the
Yes.
spreadsheet. Nowhere we specified. Am I correct? Nowhere
Yes, that's
specified.
I was wondering
So
that till now we have not defined any ledger. Yeah, that's
this will be done by the macro. So whatever the macro, so if you click on the generate ledger legal entity and BU file, this macro will create many ledgers that you have many countries. So here overall we are having only 2 countries, right?
yes.
So
Yes.
it will generate 2 ledgers and it will automatically assign the legal entities to that ledger. So that will be taken care by the macro first.
So how does it populate the information for the ledger actually? Automatically
It will automatically populate, man. So see, for the ledger, whatever the chart of accounts, so this is the chart of accounts, and for the ledger, what should be the calendar? This is the calendar with the same name. We have created the calendar also, and the currency will be assigned based on the country. So your country is United States. For that country, whatever the currency is, system will automatically assign to that ledger. It is totally depending on the country that your legal entities are located, and that code will be there by the in the rapid implementation through macro. So if you go to this macro, you should be able to see that. So let me go to the macro if I can go. I'm not sure whether I can go or not. So one second. It is not allowing me. So actually the coding will be there in the HST bar. It will not be there here. And, okay, so I cannot do anything. No, sir, it will be there in that part. And actually, here in the HST bar, it will be there, which is secured by the password. So it will be there in that HST bar. Actually, the code, how the system should generate the ledgers and all.
Okay.
So I cannot do anything on that.
Actually, I was trying to compare with the EBS because in EBS there are a lot of options which we have to complete while defining the ledger.
So what are all the options that we need to complete? Tell me.
Yeah, those some accounts also needs to mention, and
What accounts you need to mention?
like I think a net income account, retained
That
earnings.
we did not done yet. That is at ledger options level. We are not going to provide at the time of ledger creation for your kind information, even in EBS also.
Okay.
Even in EBS also, we are going to provide at the ledger options level. That is a separate setup. When we are creating the ledger, we need not to. If you are doing in 11i, so then at 11i, I think it is required that we need to provide. But in R12, we need not to provide at the time of creation of ledger at all. So if I am wrong, let me confirm. So from others, anyone, please confirm if I am wrong.
You're correct, Vamshi. We define the ledger options later.
Right. So the
Sure.
same way here also. Okay.
So we will be defining later the ledger options. Here
No,
also.
we are going to do all those things. Don't worry.
Okay.
So this
So
is
Vamshi,
how. Yeah. Go ahead.
here one more question. So the rapid implementation has limitations like if I want to define two ledgers in a given country, in that case also it won't work, right?
It won't work. So those are all limitations in it. Okay.
Even
So
if I want to define, even if my requirement is to define a primary ledger in which is not in US currency, even that case also it fails.
it fails.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, you have to go to the manual way and you have to do. That's what I'm telling. If it is a complex requirement and complex customer, then we have to go with the manual way. And if it is a simple customer and simple and the timelines are very less, so we can go with this rapid implementation. It's depending on the consultant how he wants to use that. That's it.
You have not given any currency here. You should give USD or.
We need not to give. It will be depending on the country. System will automatically populate.
Okay.
It will, based on the country that we have given, it will automatically populate. So if you provide here the USD, so both the ledgers will be created in USD only.
Oh.
If you did not provide any legal entities, so you have to provide the currency. If you provided the legal entities, then we need not to give this. And that is the reason in the comparison legal entity sheet, legal entities are not mandatory, that we need not to populate. Okay.
And here in this spreadsheet, we have 3 legal entities, 2 US legal entities and 1 Indian legal
India
entity.
legal entity, right.
And for the business unit, you have selected only this GRT US Technologies. And other legal entity?
System will automatically link up, Andy, because see, this is just a default legal entity. So this BU will be linked to the ledger. Under that ledger, the many legal entities are there. They can link up automatically with this BU.
Okay. Means it is mandatory to give one legal entity. Suppose there are 3 legal entities in US means
you have to give one default legal entity. So when you're doing the transaction, system will default that particular legal entity. And if you want to do the transaction for other legal entity, you have to change to other legal entity when you're doing the transactions for that BU.
Okay.
Say for example, AP invoice you are creating. When you are creating the AP invoice, there is a attribute called legal entity attribute. Along with the business unit, you need to select the legal entity also. When you select the legal entity, so system will give you the 3 legal entities that you have. So you need to choose whatever the legal entity that you want for that BU. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. So any other questions from anyone on this rapid implementation? Good. So the next part from the rapid implementation, after rapid implementation is we have to go to the manual setups. So one by one, we have to do a manual setup. So that will start with the Fusion General Ledger. That is, so here I'm just making it as a Fusion General Ledger setups. So we'll start with that. So now let us see what are all the differences between R12 to Fusion now. So the R12 versus Fusion, the key differences. Let us see. So in R12, from the general ledger perspective, so from the GL perspective, so you can do the comparison between R12 to Fusion. So from R12, so you're going to have unified chart of accounts. Unified chart of accounts means there is a single chart of accounts. This is the setup is a single chart of account setup where you need to do the segments, qualifiers, value sets, everything you're going to do in the same chart of account setup. Whereas in Fusion, this chart of accounts has been broken down into two parts. So whatever the chart of accounts you're going to do in EBS, that has been broken into two parts. We call it as a chart of account structure and COA structure instance. Is that clear? Right. So why it has been broken? What is the business need behind that? We'll discuss. So what is the logic behind that? We'll discuss. Now, on the second part is there is only one balancing segment and a secondary tracking segment are available in EBS, whereas in Fusion we have 3 balancing segments are there and no secondary tracking segment. So we have 3 balancing segments. So what is the use and what is the business requirement? We will see that definitely. And in R12, we call it as a segment qualifier, whereas the term has got changed in Fusion called segment label. And in R12, we used to compile after completing the chart of accounts, we have to click on the compile button, whereas in Fusion, we have to deploy the chart of accounts. And no data effective hierarchy. So the parent and child relationship, if you want to have a data effective parent hierarchy. So let's say when I'm defining the values, I had created a parent and child relation. And at later point of time, if I want to change, I have to override the existing one only. Whereas in Fusion, you can have multiple parent and child relationships or data effective hierarchies. If you want, you can create. So parent and child relationships defined when you're defining the segment values. So when you're defining the segment values itself, you need to specify whether that is a parent value and what are all the child values for that. Whereas in Fusion, so that discrimination or that parent and child relationship we are going to establish as a separate setup. So that is called hierarchy defining. So that we will see. And sir, any questions from anyone? Okay. So the next one is segment value security. So if you enable the segment value security at a particular segment level, unless you provide the rules, so everyone can access the values of that particular segment. So that means even after enabling the security, so we can access the values unless we provide the, unless we restrict the access. So that means grant by default. Whereas in Fusion, so if you enable the security, that's it, system will stop giving access to the values. So you need to grant the access to each and every value to whomever you want to give. So that is a segment value security differentiation. So here we call it as a deny by default. By default, it will deny the access to the segment value to the segment values. And if you want to give access, you need to define the rules to give the access. And in EBS, we have a budget journals, whereas in Fusion, there is no budget journals concept. We are going to upload the budget amounts directly onto the Essbase queue. And a few more differences. If anyone wants to take a note, you can take the screenshot. Right. So let us proceed with the next slide. Accounting calendar. So we need to, when you're defining the accounting calendars, we need to load the periods manually. Or if we are done with the 2018, we need to create the 2019, we need to create the periods manually. Whereas in Fusion, there is a single button called add year button. If you click on that, system will automatically generate the periods. And no spreadsheets to create the cross validation rules and account combinations. In EBS, if you want to create the cross-validation rules, for creating the cross-validation rules, there is no spreadsheet. You need to go to the specific form and you need to define the cross-validation rules manually. Whereas in Fusion, there are rapid implementation spreadsheets are available for creating the cross-validation rules and accounting combinations also. For both of them, we have spreadsheets. And no mobile support for financial reports like FSG reports, whatever FSG reports you created. If I want to access in the mobile, it is impossible to access the financial reports or FSG reports in mobile from the application. Whereas in Fusion, it is possible because of mobile financial reporting center tool or the mobile app is available. So if you download that app, so through that app you can access your financial statements or financial reports that you created through FSG or in FR Studio. Any questions? These are the very key and high level differences from EBS to Fusion. There are a lot of changes are there. We'll see it downline. Okay. So any questions from anyone on this? Let me know now.
Can you explain the hierarchy part in the previous slide? Parent-child hierarchy. What is the
Okay,
difference?
so what is the issue? What is the question that you had?
I think in Fusion we have just defined in the spreadsheet.
So, sir, 1 second. Spreadsheet is a rapid implementation sheet. Now, forget about that spreadsheet now. Don't take it into the picture now. Forget about the spreadsheet. So, spreadsheet part is over. Now, in EBS, now compare your EBS to Fusion. So, in EBS, if you want to define the hierarchy or the parent and child relationship, where you are going to define. So at the time of creating the values, you need to specify which one is the parent value, and then we have to associate what are all the child values to that in the same form. Am I correct?
Yes.
But in Fusion, at the time of creation of values, you cannot define which one is a parent and which one is a child. That is a separate setup you have to define.
Okay, so
is that clear? That is a separate setup and separate form that we will see.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Any questions? Any questions from anyone? Right. So we'll stop here the session as it's already 8:20. I cannot proceed with the other setup activities on the GL side. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye. And I will definitely come back on the environment access. Please, Kamala Garu, give me some time. Today EOD, I will let you know. Okay. Bye-bye. And friends, others, so please do the transfer fee. So otherwise, I'll definitely stop you in attending the session from tomorrow onwards. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Vamshi garu.
Yes.
Yeah. So tomorrow will be the next set of